What's up, Block fam? Headed to the garage. We got a little bit of a project going on in there. Oop, stay. All right, guys, we're in the garage today with Eric, Bagger Bro.
Yo, check this out real quick. What's up, guys? I'm sorry, but this is really super cool. Check this out.
It's so satisfying.
Right. That's so, like, I'm just want to. This is the only reason I want to do his brakes, because I want to play with these things. No.
This is seriously so satisfying. So I found these at Advanced Auto Parts.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get some brake cleaner.
Yeah, I was legit just gonna get brake cleaner, and I ended up buying so much other stuff. So in this video, guys, we're gonna be replacing the brakes. Eric's gonna be starting without me just because I got some editing to finish up for you guys for a video that you're gonna be seeing soon. So I'm gonna hand him the reins to basically start the brakes on the Raptor. So just to give you guys a heads up about the brakes on this truck, the guy that I bought it from, he said that he had replaced the front rotors and it had new brakes. He didn't say anything about the rear. So I took it and I got basically like all the service done. So it's got new trans fluid, I got the oil done, I got the coolant flushed, and then next time around I'm gonna do the rear diff flush, and then I also got the wheels, tires rotated, a new gasket and seal for the transmission as well that I got done just in case. So the truck is fully up to speed in terms of service. She's been running great. The guy that worked on it was very thorough and he said it's in great condition. So built like, you know, clean bill of health. Unfortunately though, whenever the guy replaced the front rotors, he went with cheap rotors. And the mechanic basically said like they're just really cheap, not good quality, and I'm getting squeaking from the front left brakes, and he said it's because the pad is cracked in half because the rotor is a cheap, he said Chinese rotor, you know, invest in quality stuff. Otherwise that's what happens. And so here we are replacing it. So Eric had a really great recommendation for a set of a full set of brakes, rotors and pads that he has gone with on what trucks previously?
I did them on my old man's F-350 dually. And then I did them on my EcoBoost F-150 and they worked great. Towed with them, towed boats, trailers, everything. Power stop. And they have a whole kit. You get the rotors, you get the brake pads of your choice. We got the ceramic like towing pads because Block's got larger tires than stock. I mean, one size larger, but still larger than stock. The Raptor's brakes are actually stock F-150 brakes. So these are already oversized for the stock brakes. So we got the ceramic pads. It comes with the shims, like new shims and everything. It's like just the whole kit. One step shy of getting the calipers. You can buy some nice fancy red calipers. They're pretty much just stock calipers, just rebuilt and then powder coated red. So we'll just knock it out with this kit and we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully there's no squeaks. There shouldn't be any squeaks.
Fingers crossed. No squeaks.
No squeaks.
So yeah, we got basically new rotors and pads, all four, so front and rear. If you guys have ever ordered brakes, you know how heavy they are. Like this box is
Let me get the knife.
Ridiculous heavy. So I guess we need to clear off a spot like on the table here. Give me a second. All right, clean-ish table. Just kind of shoved a bunch of stuff to the side. Stuff needed, brake clean. We got the brake fluid. I bought two just in case, but it should only need 32 ounces, I believe. Also got a turkey baster, so that's to take the fluid out of the reservoir. So you basically take the fluid out of the reservoir, fill it with the new stuff, and then whenever you go to bleed the brakes, it's pushing new fluid, fresh fluid through the lines, and you're not pushing all the old gross stuff through the lines.
When we're done with this, can I use this for probably Thanksgiving?
Sure.
Okay.
Just hit it with some brake clean first.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then we also have some grease over here. It's just full synthetic gray grease, and then whatever other tools that you might need. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox, go through what parts are in this. You want me to hand the reins over to you at this point after you do the chop, and then you can pretty much unpack. And so as you guys know, since we're here in the garage, we can't use a normal box opener. One episode a long time ago, I used a samurai sword, and ever since then, you guys don't let me use a normal box opener. So Eric has chosen to use the machete.
I think it's proper for the Raptor, right?
Right.
I mean,
It's very, very aggressive.
you could use that sword over there, but I think this is a little meaner.
All right. So whenever you're ready. Nice. All right, there we go, guys. Got a couple of rotors, a couple of little rubber stops, and then pads. These things are heavy.
Yeah, they're beefy boys.
Yep. They look good. Side note, you guys be sure to go give this guy a follow. Really good friend, coming and helping me do all this stuff, like with the truck. He's a, I mean, just a motorhead. an enthusiast for sure. And if this doesn't show it, I don't know what does. You guys be sure to go give Eric a follow at BaggerBro. I really appreciate you, man.
Cool. I don't feel very comfortable lifting the whole truck up at once because Block's driveway kind of slopes down. What you want to do first is start from the farthest from the master. So I'm going to do the rear right, so passenger rear, and I'm going to do driver rear, passenger front, and then driver front. So I'm going to knock the tire off. Let's do it. Come around the back. And then I'm going to take off the caliper bolts first, right? Swing the caliper up and hang it. And then I'm gonna take the caliper brackets off so we get the rotor off. And yeah, let's get started. So that gets our caliper off. Not bad. You wanna make sure there's no leaks, check everything, no weeping or anything. So the caliper is good. So next, we're gonna do these brackets. One bolt. Two bolts. All right, boom. Let's take the old rotor off first. I tapped on the rotor here, right? So you can see she's coming off. Get it off here. Oh, there we go. First thing you want to do when you encounter the rotor is make sure you have the right one. Power Stop, in their infinite wisdom, labeled each rotor so you can't mess this up. This is the rear passenger side, which is the one we're working on now. There's always some kind of like grease or lube on the rotors. So what I like to do is take some brake cleaner, spray them down, wipe them down, and then, you know, put them on the axle. Boom. See that? I don't know if you see how dirty it is. Cleaning all that nasty stuff off. I know I'm gonna hear, you guys are gonna say it in the comments, oh, you shouldn't get drilled rotors because they crack. Look how thick these rotors are. If that cracks, you were doing something dumb for sure. So I don't see these ever cracking. Beautiful, look at that. All right, so next we are going to change the rubber on these bad boys with what we got here. There we go. There you go. There we go. Bam, new sliders on. All right, so first, let's go ahead. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna replace these rubber isolator thingies and then put new grease on the slides. Beep. All right, I'm gonna pull the old rubbers off, that aside. Wipe off all this old grease because we're gonna put that new stuff that Block got. You wanna check these sliders for any gouges or anything. A polishing on there, that's okay. It's all right. Open a can of beans. That's good. Let's do the other one. Nice, you want to make sure that the slides come in and out nicely without binding, because that will cause your brake pads to bind on the rotor and you don't want that. Now, we're going to load the pads. Make sure those are in. All right, get new pads, make sure there's no grease on my fingers. You don't want to get grease on the pads. A little bit goes a long way. Some people say not to use it because you get dirt in there and whatnot, but a little bit's all right. Give the pads a chance, you know. Now let's load the new pads and get this bracket back on the rotors. All right. Bam, we're ready to go. I'm gonna show you guys this cool little tool I got from Harbor Freight to compress the piston and the caliper. What I'm gonna do is, there's a little plunger in there, right? And what you do is you turn this guy, and what it's gonna do is it's gonna bind up here against the caliper and push this piston in. See how it's drawing the piston in? Maybe. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, that's all the way in now. Back this off. And now we're set up. There you go. So we're back here. This is our loaded, we call this a loaded caliper bracket. It's got everything greased up, ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and throw it on. Bam! And put the bolts in. It's just nothing more satisfying than making something right, you know? Anyway, Okay. Get these guys on. That's good and tight right there. All right, swing this caliper back. Make sure it's not binding or anything. That looks about right. Push the slides in. There we go. Got the bolt. We're not gonna tighten these like the other, like the caliper bracket. Just these will be nice and snug. These don't have to be that serious. They're small bolts. Good. Click. And there you have it, folks. That is how you do a rear brake. Rear brake assembly on a Raptor.
Later.
All right, guys, we're starting on the front now. We're gonna gotta lift it up.
Right there, the front's gonna sag a little more, I think. Assad, huh? We got the wheel off. That was fun. We're gonna pull the caliper off, and then the brackets, just like we did on the rears. Only these are a little bit more beefy. They're beefy boys. So first things first. That's good enough. Now we're gonna take off the caliper brackets. Hey.
Should we look at the pad? Oh yeah, you can see it's cracked right there. So they're both cracked. Well, yeah. I mean, they're right down the middle on both sides there. Same. Holy sh.
Old and busted, new hotness. So we're gonna put these little shimmy boys and take these out, and then lube them while they're in there, and then lube the pads and then throw them in. So now they're all lubed up. We'll pop these bad boys in. Remember, always use lubrication, guys. Always. Yeah. That's why your pad's cracked. That is seized, brother. Okay, so like everything with vehicles, there's always a problem. We have a stuck slide in the caliper bracket. It was literally like bound up and like the grease was all dried up. That thing is seized in there. So that's probably what caused Block's brakes to crack. So luckily we found a local O'Reilly's that has one in stock.
That's what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah. It's completely, you can see it's completely dried up here. I mean, this is all the dust. This was like what was in it.
Nothing.
Gross. Nothing. So whoever did the brake job, they didn't know what they were doing when they did the fronts.
You don't think they greased it enough?
No, they didn't grease it at all. They just slapped the pads in there.
All right, so while Eric is running to O'Reilly, so he's going to grab that. Go ahead and take off the other one. Those bolts, huge pain in but both of the slides move. Hooray, not seized. Let's see how these pads are. Oh, these are cracked too. Huh. What it should have done, those are actually all properly greased. Hey, Bagger Bro's back.
Yo.
He got the new bracket. That is all brand new. New bracket, new slides,
Yo,
new
good
pads.
Dude, good looks to O'Reilly's for having this.
All right, guys, time jump.
Yeah.
On the right side.
Almost done.
Getting the stuff back on, looking good.
So we bled the passenger side front, and we're on the last one. This so you always start from the farthest, from the master cylinder. So that'd be the right rear. Then you move over to the right or rear left, and then right front, and then left front. So it's the last one. We're gonna bleed it. What we're gonna do is Wes is gonna pump the brake pedal and then hold it, and then I crack the bleeder open, and then the pedal, what happens is the pedal goes to the floor. When it hits the floor, then I close it, and then he pulls the pedal back and then pumps again and holds it, and then I crack the bleeder, and then it goes to the floor, and then I lock it here, and then we just do it over and over until we pretty much clear the brake line out. If he pulls the pedal back while the valve is still open, then it'll suck air in the caliper, and then there's just more bleeding after that. So you guys gotta make sure this is locked before he pulls the pedal back. By the time we're done, you want to have it filled to the max line, because like that's kind of like a meter. As your brake pads wear, the level drops. So if you go from full to minimum, that means your pads are done. So you never add more brake fluid. If it looks low, don't add any. At that point, it's like, hey, you need to check your brake pads.
Interesting.
Because what happens is the pistons are pushing out farther now, so they're using more fluid. Just drop it.
Holy shit.
It's a Raptor.
Dude. It's a lot of truck to be moving that quickly while you're sitting right beside it.
150. Big titty.
All right, guys, we got everything back on together. So now you think that would be the end of the process, but now we have the bedding process. All right, guys, so we are in the bedding procedure to basically get from 40 miles per hour and brake aggressively down to 10. 5 times.
1. Smell the brakes already.
Is from 35 to 5 miles per hour 5 times.
Hard?
Yeah, it says in rapid succession.
How many times?
5 times without letting the brakes go.
1.
Yo, dude, these brakes are fucking crazy.
2. Oh, there's a car coming. 3. What are you doing?
What are y'all doing? We're bedding brakes. We're bedding brakes. Alright, so now last part. Once this is completed and the brakes have cooled to standard operating temperature, you use your brakes normally. So basically, at this point, we need to cool the brakes. So
I was just cruising.
Cruise normally, yeah. All right, guys, it is about a month later. I've been driving with these brakes. I've got a couple thousand miles on them. I'm pretty sure a couple thousand miles, but they've been awesome, guys. They stop really, really well in both wet and dry, all that good stuff. Haven't had any issues with them squeaking. So thus far, experience is really good. But that's us installing new brakes on the Raptor. Hope the episode was insightful. If you guys are interested in any of this stuff, check out the links down below. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments down below. Let me know. Big thanks to Eric and Wes for the help on the install. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button. Lets YouTube know we're doing a good job over here. If you guys aren't subscribed, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon as well so you get notifications of future uploads. Until next time, drive safe, wrench safe, stay vigilant. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.